A former NFL player just caught a flag on the play in the middle of Mass. Welcome back to Theocracy Watch, where we track how Christian institutions protect power, not people.
This is Theocracy Watch.
Asking for the truth got Jake McQuaid escorted out, but he wasn't just some random heckler. The 14-year NFL veteran and lifelong member of Our Lady of the Visitation stood up during Mass and asked church leadership a question the archdiocese had been dodging for weeks. Yes or no? Did the priest use the parish computer to look at pornography? He was talking about Father Mark Bachman, who's now heading out on sabbatical, but the deeper wound runs back decades to Father Geoff Drew, the priest who confirmed Jake as a kid. Drew was removed from ministry in 2019 after years of complaints, boundary violations with teens, uninvited hugs, and inappropriate messages to minors. The archdiocese knew all this and still kept him in rotation. And it wasn't until 2020 that Drew was finally arrested and charged back in the 1980s with a child. Drew got several years for raping, but meanwhile, the church is playing dress up like the robe can somehow mask the smell of garbage. The porn allegation Jake asked about involved a different priest, but it followed the same script. The warning signs, the digital footprints, the parishioner complaints, and still silence. No transparency, no answers, just an official letter from the archbishop calling it unsubstantiated and warning parishioners not to gossip. But the parishioners here are not the problem. It's the pattern of abuse. Remember Bishop Joseph Binzer? He lost his job in 2020 for failing to report early allegations against Drew. Yet somehow, these same oversight failures keep happening. It's always protect the institution, shield the clerics, bury the truth, and silence the dissenters. And when someone finally stands up and demands answers like Jake did, the response isn't justice, it's police escorts and damage control. They escorted him out of the church because the only thing they care about more fiercely than the doctrine is protecting themselves. So until next time, keep asking questions, stay curious, and stand up for justice. Good job, Jake. That was very brave of him, very courageous, and I'm so glad that he did that.
Go, Jake. It's your birthday. Way to go.
The fact they called the police and escorted him out, that's messed up. Why can't you just answer the question?
I suspect we may see more of that as more people get frustrated with what's going on and being shoved. Because a lot of these people are the boards, the school board is now heavily religious, and so it's going to be really hard whenever you stand up and try to give your voice and have somebody listen to your reason. They're just going to have you hauled off.
Yep.
Yeah, so they even make it harder for people to be heard who can be there. Okay, I don't know if you guys saw when the first step of the Ten Commandments bill here in Texas was going on. They started put it through, and people were planning on going to protest or even to testify in front of the Capitol. So there was a group of people that went to Austin. One of them was genetically modified skeptic. Okay, he has a channel. All right, Drew is his name. And so he went and he was joined by some people, and they stayed at the Capitol for a full 24 hours before they were allowed to speak. And so they do this because they know that people are not going to be able to stay for a full 24 hours. Okay, like they have to take time off work. If they have children, they have to have somebody to take care of their children. If they have pets, they have to have somebody go and take care of their pets. If they leave, they can't come back and get in line. It's like you're in there, you stay there for the full time, and then you get to testify. So they started with something like 12 people, and by the time they got there, it was less than half of them that were able to stay for that full time. So yeah, like even if you're able to do that type of stuff, they're trying to make it as hard as possible for people to fight back.